What's going on, everyone? It's the Niskel. Welcome back to Conker's Pocket Tales. Okay, let's get this level over with. For the longest time, Krow Keep was the hardest level in the game. I have spent so much time in this level, like overall, through all the playthroughs I've done, than any other level. And I do understand needing to up your difficulty at a certain point in the game, but I can definitely tell that this is one of those situations where, hey, we don't have enough content to extend the game. Let's just make it harder. If thou plays my game and wins, I will award thee with this nice shiny token. Okay. Hey, you remember that target practice minigame? Let's do that again. Be careful with your aim, because if you actually miss targets and they go down, it adds another one to your counter. Also, this one is extremely strict on time. That's no good, you fool! Thou will have to do better than that! Honestly, I kept that take in because I love what that acorn guy says. You fool! Alright, so now for the real runs. Yeah, it's extremely strict on time. You have to, aim true and fire. And if you miss, well, it just adds another one, adding insult to injury. Well done! I've never seen it done that fast! It's as if thou hast played this game before. Are you calling me out? Take this token! I'm sure thee can find use for it. Perfect! Yeah, one of my takes. I actually got a perfect. Sweet. I should also note that there was no present in the Game Boy version. We'll get to that. It shows up in a different place, so it's not like, oh, it's in a radically different area. It just shows up later. Now, you take that token, and a lot of kids would be going, okay, cool, I got a token, now what? Because there are not a lot of places that you can go at the start of Krow Keep. And as the name suggests, we're going to eventually enter oh, that is so cheap. We are going to eventually enter Krow Keep. But the door's locked. So you have a bunch of loons outside Krow Keep, keeping it protected, maybe keeping the grass warm, I don't know. But they have, like, party games out here that you can play. So here's another one. And I kind of like this one. So, thee wants to play my game? Well, it will cost thee that shiny token. Ye rules are simple. Watch carefully. I will place this pea under a cup. Then I will muddle ye cups, and thou must guess where ye pea lies. Don't ask me that. Yeah, so it's the street performer puzzle. You'll notice a huge difference between the two versions. The Game Boy Color version starts slow and eventually goes fast, while the original Game Boy version just goes balls out and just goes extremely quickly. I think it even speeds up at one point. So, yeah, just pay attention to one of the cups. This is one of those ones that you do not have to get all of them. I believe in both versions you have to at least get 2. You don't have to get that third one. But, yeah, simple as that. Well done! Thou hast beaten my simple game! Thy path is now open! And I also got a perfect, so cool, more health for me. You're gonna need as much health as you can get for this level. I have 23 health right now. That is going to go straight down the drain when we actually enter Krow Keep. I'm not gonna lie, this is a hard one. No matter which version you're playing. As the story goes, in order to enter Krow Keep, we need to talk to these fools out in the tents because, Krow Keep, stay out. They don't want you in here. Fecking crows are territorial. But they were actually guarding the entry. Talking to one of the fools actually gives you that hint. The torch is the item of the day, or item of the level, that you need to find inside Krow Keep. It'll help you get 100%. So we're going to be on the lookout for that. Eventually, after you beat the 2 minigames, which, nice distraction. Yeah, it's fine, it's fine. Again, Game Boy game, what are they gonna do? Keep that area in mind. something interesting, in the Game Boy version, that location is different, but it is still outside of Krow Keep. So when we are able to get that red present, I'll be sure to show both versions. Greetings! This key will let thee into Yield Castle! I thought it was a key. Well, whatever. Thanks for the key to the keep and the present. Honestly, I think the only reason this guy is here to give you the key to let you into the level is because they didn't have a place to give you the third present. Yeah, it's one of those. Krow Keep plays a little different from the other two levels that we've done. In Willow Woods, it's just general progression, like you're going through the story. Here's a blue present, here's a blue present. In this one, you have to beat bosses in order to get your blue present. And by the way, as soon as you come into Krow Keep, there's your missing third present. So now we're all good. We are all equal. Let's fight the first boss. Oh my god. This is where I thought, oh my god, I'm never going to be able to finish this level. This is your final boss of Krow Keep. Already. You have to fight him 4 different times, and every time you fight him at different parts of the stage, he gets harder. Except if you're playing the Game Boy version, in which case he is just ungodly stupid hard starting out. In the Game Boy Color version, he will always throw one buzzsaw at the beginning, and there is a location at each space to cheese it. In the Game Boy version, he's just constantly throwing shit at you, and it is so hard to avoid, especially since the Game Boy version runs a bit slower, so keep that in mind. You just dodge the bullets until he stops. He actually has a lot of time where he just sits there and takes punishment. You can actually hit him multiple times. But in the Game Boy Color version, nah, you can only hit him once per cycle. This is another level that also took me a very long time, and it shouldn't have, mainly because I kept dying all the time. But another thing is, this Krow Keep has secrets. Oh yes, adventurer. There are secrets in this castle. And, you know, they're in the same places in both versions, so thank fuck for that. But they're not labeled in the Game Boy version! If this was the only version you had as a kid, you will never find that. And, I'm gonna vent here. You best watch out, I'm about to vent here. If you take a look at the Game Boy footage, you'll actually notice that this is a collectible we cannot get yet. In the Game Boy Color version, we can get it already. But there is a rock blocking the way in the Game Boy version. We're gonna have to come back for that. But what aggravates me about this stage, and, you know, I was figuring this out on my own, mind you. I looked up official Nintendo power for Conker's Pocket Tales. It only covers the Game Boy Color version. Not even Nintendo Power gave a shit about the Game Boy version of Pocket Tales. So, as I was playing this and I realized, oh, Pocket Tales is different in the Game Boy version for Krow Keep, I was like, okay, well, let me use the knowledge from Game Boy Color and see if I can figure out where all the collectibles are. Again, I'm still going for 100%, and there are no guides out here. So, yeah, I think I can figure it out. I'm up to the task. There are only slight differences, thank God, for I'll get to a rant on this. But some of the collectibles are just in different spots between the two versions, so I'll be sure to show those off when I can. Oh, okay. But round 2 with Waldorf, I'll get to the falling in the freaking pit. No worries. One thing I actually did notice over in the Game Boy version is if you can find the sweet spot and just constantly fire Conkers, you can actually destroy his fireballs and hit him an extra time before he stops. And by the way, if you're wondering where the cheese point is, it's about right here in the Game Boy Color version, because he will always fire forward, and then he will eventually move. So if you fire it as soon as he's about to move, you'll always hit him, and then the saw blade goes away. One thing I just need to do a little mini rant about are the controls. Controls are always the hardest thing to explain because you're not there to experience it. I can't precisely explain how this feels. But jumping over those pits, I have tried different timings in order to not fall down those pits. And every time I get it wrong. I don't know what I'm doing incorrectly, but it always seems like... Okay, that was a bad example. No, but it always seems like... it's 50% of the time I get it, 50% I don't. This room got the biggest facelift between versions. Look how much more crap there is in the Game Boy version. Why? Again, I think this is a product of, we don't have much, make it harder. But in the Game Boy Color version, it's barely an issue. Just want to find those designers and just give them a simple slap. Just be like, hey, what were you thinking? You want to go down here, there is a breakable floor, and inside it is an invitation. Now, technically this is our second, but we have found 3 of them in the Game Boy version, so just keep a mental post-it of that. This is also a bit of a difference. Krow Keep in the Game Boy version has a lot less adversity in the halls, but harder bosses. So it's almost doing a balancing act of, you know, the things in the keep are the main issues in the Game Boy Color version. There is so much adversity that you have to kill in order to not get hurt in the Game Boy Color version, versus the Game Boy version, which is just naturally harder, but there are less enemies to hurt you. So I can kind of see what they're going with there. I don't exactly like it. Well done, Conker! Your new rating is Nutty Forager. Foraging for those nuts. Another issue I had when playing Krow Keep for the first time, and this is mainly just a me problem, I was playing this on the Game Boy, aka no backlight. Now, when I came to record for this Let's Play, I'm playing it on a Game Boy player, you know, big screen. I also played it on the Retron 5 for the Game Boy version, big screen. I got lost so many times in this keep. If you ever want to see what the game over screen looks like, just wait till the end of this episode, because it always happens here. No matter which playthrough I'm doing, I'm always getting a game over, because everything wants you dead in here. I know I said the Game Boy version is harder, but Game Boy Color is no slouch. It hurts. This is a level that wants you dead. And it's kind of funny that after this level, we have reached the official halfway point of the game. No joke. And it's already this punishingly difficult. But you have to go through all those different hallways in order to push a button. All of that just to move on to the next part. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little hint here. Preemptively giving you a hint before the end of the stage. If you are playing along, you want to follow this guide to a T. Because there is nothing more miserable than missing one collectible and having to go through all of Krow Keep again. It's abysmal. But anyway, here's the torch. We can light dimly lit areas. It doesn't apply here in Krow Keep, I don't think. At least I never noticed. This is another permanent item. We'll be keeping this till the end of our adventure. And now, the caves in Willow Woods that have collectibles in them will be fully lit, so that's good for later. I also noticed that the Game Boy version has less variety in the enemies here in Krow Keep. Like, for example, that small hallway with the snake, that had a plant in the other version. So, I don't know, maybe they ran out of sprites. You also want to take all of these shortcuts, again, graciously labeled in the Game Boy Color version, but not in the original, blah blah blah. Get all the health you can get. And this is where I would actually suggest, if you're playing on your own hardware, if you're playing your own game, constantly save. You want to spam that save button, even though you'll be teleporting a little bit back to the beginning of a specific room. That's fine. If you get a game over, you're gonna miss out on a lot. You go back to where you saved, and that's probably for the best. You want to save as much health as you can get. But right here, oh my gosh, we finally got a red present in the Game Boy Color version. Special presents help you gain higher ratings. This is the thing that helps change your rating. Not only getting the blue presents, but also getting the red presents. So by the end of the game, we will have the max rank in the game, and it's all thanks to the red presents and blue presents. The invitations, their effects change depending on your version, so just that's another note to keep in the mental bank. How? How? Whoa! Hey now! You're gonna do this, aren't you? You are going to do... I have wasted more health getting that health than was required. Hell yeah! I love it when the jumps don't work. It's my favorite part of Conker's Pocket Tales. You can quote me on that. I also love how certain enemy types and objectives that hurt you are different from version to version. Like, do you remember that sword from a couple rooms earlier that was just bouncing off the walls? Yeah, in Pocket Tales, you'll actually see it in some of the footage for the Game Boy version. They hone in on you and go for a stab. They don't just bounce off the walls. Again, Game Boy Color easier, but not by much. We're actually making pretty good headway. Apart from always getting lost and having to, pay attention to a small Game Boy screen, this is actually going surprisingly well. But we haven't hit one of the most annoying points. Now, you want to do a little offshoot because that's another Waldorf fight. Come in here and do this little puzzle real quick. And hope to God that the push mechanics actually work. For some reason it didn't there. Maybe because I was too close to the friggin' box and didn't have enough wind-up. I don't know why this doesn't work most of the time. Just for some reason, it's another 50-50, just like the jumps over pits. But here we go! So, in the Game Boy Color version, this is Invite 3. In the Game Boy version, we now know where all 4 of them are. Cool. Making excellent progress. Not liking the look of my health, but you know what? We'll make it work. Let's go fight the boss again. Oh, let's see what he adds in Game Boy Color. He's still doing the same movement patterns? Awesome. Oh, over in original Game Boy, he's shooting ricocheting fireballs and throwing swords. Okay. I still don't know how kids were able to do this back in the day, or maybe they didn't. That's probably why there are no official guides for the Game Boy version. Nobody could be asked to do it. I do like how in the Game Boy version, after you beat Waldorf, you basically get a small room that has a save point and extra ammo. So that's a bit of a saving grace. Okay, we are in the home stretch of Krow Keep by this point. Follow this part carefully. There's some free health up there. Pay no attention to the fact that my health changed. I totally didn't have to do this entire segment twice. Come over here, look out for the retracting spikes. The hitboxes on these retracting spikes, by the way, are bonkers. As soon as they start retracting in the Game Boy Color version, they no longer have a hitbox. But in the Game Boy version, they start having a hitbox as soon as they start coming out. It is ridiculous that it changes between versions. It makes no goddamn sense. But I just wanted to show that there is invite number 4 for the Game Boy Color version, but this section doesn't even exist in Game Boy. I don't understand. They took out an entire section, but I guess they just needed an extra place to give you some supplies before the boss of the area. I kind of understand it. See, I know there's a method to the madness. I'm just trying to decipher it. I have to go back many years into the past and try to figure out, okay, why did they do this dumbass decision? Well, I'll decrypt it later. Right here, this is actually a deceivingly mean room. These saw blades are just going all over the place, so just do your best to avoid them. And we did it! This is the end of Krow Keep. Oh, they went with the boring theme again. Go back to the one that sounds like The Sorcerer's Apprentice. I kind of like that one. Hopefully you got all the collectibles. I'll tell you why later. What's up, Evil Acorn? What you got? As soon as I ponder about it. Ah, I see you all have already met Waldorf. The salad? This time, he will defeat you once and for all! I think I gave it too much gusto. Well, Evil Acorn is half right. I honestly didn't think this guy was beatable in the Game Boy version. In Game Boy Color, he's a pushover, because as soon as you hit him once, you can start the cheese pattern. But over in Game Boy, give me a freaking break! Those ricocheting fireballs are in the exact locations to where all of my previous cheese spots in the Game Boy Color version no longer worked. You have to bob and weave and get out of the way. By the way, this dialogue's missing in Game Boy Color. I can't believe my eyes! You have taken out Waldorf! So I guess there wasn't enough processing power in the Game Boy Color to add that text box. We have done it. We have gotten every collectible that we can get in Krow Keep as of now. Over in the Game Boy version, we are missing an invite, but that's in the early points of Krow Keep, so I don't mind it. We're also missing a red present that is on the outside of the keep for both games. We'll be back for those, don't worry. There's a specific episode where after a level, we're going to be doing some backtracking and getting a massive amount of collectibles. I'm so happy that that level's over! Well done! You've completed 3 worlds out of 6. Go see the Forest Guardian. Will do, my friendo. I'm going to be giving an example of why Krow Keep took so long when I was playing it myself. But just know that a first-timer's experience with Krow Keep is absolutely miserable. Even though Nintendo Power had some hints for the Game Boy Color version, they don't help much. But now we have a choice. After meeting with the Forest Guardian after Krow Keep, he gives you 2 options. You can go to Mako Islands, or you can go to Claw Swamp. This is an illusion of choice. You do not want to go to Claw Swamp first. You want to go to Mako Islands. The only reason I say this is because if you go to Claw Swamp first, you will not be able to 100% it your first time. Mako Islands, on the other hand, is the first example of a level that we can get 100% from the get-go, so we do not have to backtrack to that level. And the item you get out of Mako Islands actually helps you get 100% everywhere else. So yeah, they tell you you can go to one of those 2 areas. Screw that! Just go to Mako Islands first. Trust me. On the other side of the entrance of, I believe it's Krow Keep, there is actually a red present hidden in the water there. And that was actually the first one I had gotten in the Game Boy version. I had to reverse engineer some of the footage to make it look like it was the first one I got. Oh my gosh, look at that! But now that we are starting to get items, we're going to be collecting a lot more. So when it comes to the Game Boy, if it's at the exact same spot as the Game Boy Color version, I'll be swapping in the footage just so you can see that, oh, it's exactly the same. But most of the time, at the end of the episode, I'll be posting footage on how different the 2 versions are. For the 2 of you playing along with your copy at home, you'll be able to tell where everything is. Following the water, you can even follow it from where you came from Krow Keep. Just follow it up the river, and eventually you will find this area, swim down, and here we are. You do need 24 presents to get into this area. Sorry, 18. But here's Mako Islands. Oh wait, no. Hold on. 8... Oh yeah, it is 24, sorry. Math. Alright, so let me show you an example of why Krow Keep sucks a big fat one if you miss a collectible. If you have already beaten Waldorf and you went through the entire keep again, you can't leave when you hit the end of the keep. And now let me show you an example of why this took so long. Game over. There is a timer going on this footage to show you how long it actually takes in the Game Boy Color version to be able to play again. You have to go through an unskippable game over. An unskippable intro with the Rare logo, with presented by Nintendo. And the worst part is, after going through the language selection, which it couldn't remember it has short-term memory loss, you have to watch the full intro again, and it takes forever! It took me an extra 3 hours to get through Krow playing it on my own on the original Game Boy Color because of a 40-second timer in order to play again. Now, for comparison's sake, in the Game Boy version, because of course I got a game over in both, you can skip everything! And you're just right back into your playing your file. Another thing I want to bring up in the Game Boy version that is sadly missing in color. Once you reload a save, you can look at the progress of every level with your collectibles. Why on earth that isn't in Game Boy Color, I have no idea. But we're done. I can finally take a chill pill and play another obnoxious level. Next time on Conker's Pocket Tales, we're taking on Mako Islands, the first level we can finally get 100%. And we're also going to be playing a lot of fun minigames. If you've played this game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. See you guys next time.